We call upon you, our beloved God. In the name of Christ, we summons the great angels, saints of all religions. We ask that you surround us with healing light. Fill every cell with the spiritual harmony of the soul that I am, your child. Thank you.
Aloha, aloha, aloha. I so love welcoming you with aloha. I so love welcoming you to another episode of Spiritual Storytelling. Einstein says fairy tales create brilliant children, and human development experts, child psychologists, and educators, along with modern day sages, have confirmed Einstein's wisdom. And today, I'm so delighted to share with you what they and I have discovered about reading fairy tales to children of all ages, including yourself. Get comfy as you listen, and I'm sure you'll want to pass on to everyone you know all the amazing benefits of reading fairy tales to children. In our last episode, Womb Reading Kickstarts Your Children's Success, we discovered why reading to and playing certain stories and songs to babies in the womb is so important, how it gives them the best start in life possible. As a master storyteller, I'm so blessed to carry on the tradition where, for thousands of years, master storytellers have used stories to pass on blessings, seed generational wisdom, and trigger aha moments within listeners. Even as you're listening now, your love, bliss, brilliance genes, and more are being activated and upgraded. That activation started the moment I welcomed you with aloha. Aloha, the presence of divine breath. Aloha, recognizing God in everyone, in all life. Aloha, truth and humbleness. Aloha, being aware in each moment. Aloha, absolute true love, divine light. Can you imagine what seeing and feeling divine light looks and feels like? Can you imagine brilliance beyond brilliance? Do you know the number one way to nurture that brilliance beyond brilliance in every child? Can you imagine living in and as this brilliance and all the qualities of aloha every moment? Can you imagine gifting your children and all your loved ones the ability to live in aloha every moment? Can you imagine leaping over life's challenges or anything that interrupts or blocks your ongoing aloha with grace and ease to experience the wonders of vital health, the freedom of financial wealth, the bliss of a quiet, focused mind, the joys of loving relationships, your infinite soul powers, and seeing your dreams come true. Over the past 40 years, I've helped thousands of people of all ages do just that. That's how I know you too can live like that. And my mission in life is helping you get there. If we haven't met before, my name is Timothy, the Magical Kids Books creator. I've now been blessed to write more children's stories than anyone alive, 86 to date, with many more coming. These stories not only entertain, educate, and inspire young children, they also awaken, delight, and/or harmonize the inner child within everyone, regardless of age, including you and me. I'm also a master of multiple ancient arts and sacred sciences. All my entertaining and educational family stories and courses are created with God's grace, along with the wisdom, creativity, and radiant love arising from 70 plus years of life experiences. These stories and courses switch on the love, bliss, and brilliance genes in all generations. Remember, even as you're listening now, your love, bliss, brilliance genes, and more are being activated and upgraded. To keep these energies flowing when you're done listening today, you'll find some free stories, fairy tales of the heart, along with guided meditations, a free webinar, songs, Qigong exercises, and other gifts at the freebie tab at timothystuds.com. There's something there for everyone in the family that will trigger aha moments, supercharge your energy, health, happiness, and help you live a thriving life in all ways. I'll put the link to these powerful gifts in the show notes. I'm also sure you'll have some insightful aha moments during our time together now or in the coming days as the aha seeds of Aloha's divine light we're now planting start to sprout. Albert Einstein said, if you want your children to be brilliant, tell them fairy tales. If you want them to be very brilliant, tell them even more fairy tales. And the brilliant artist Brenda G. Bowman is the creator and the illustrator of the cover stories of all of my stories, and she illustrated Einstein behind me. Storytelling is a critical element in a child's early development precisely because of the way the child's reality is built upon images. A child's intelligence, capacity of mind, the integration of thought, feeling, and action into a whole psychic structure able to develop its potential depend on this inner image ability. Having a hard time getting that one out. And the number one way to foster this ability to create inner images and thus the brilliance of your children is to give them the unique opportunity to create their own images free of adult input. You allow them to imaginatively create their own visual images to bring the characters and stories to life. Fairy tales should provide the words. You provide the storytelling, and your children create their own pictures of what's happening on a page. This interactive combination is storytelling at its finest. It will have profound and lasting effects on your child's imagination, intelligence, brain development, concentration, creativity, social skills, and self-confidence, the building blocks to a successful future. Research shows that creative children can more easily meet life's challenges and build the skills necessary to experience happy, productive lives. Research also shows that children access and develop their infinite imaginations and brilliant minds by creating their own images. As they listen to or read fairy tales without seeing some adult's concept of what's happening on a page, children are fully engaging their infinite and creative imaginations. Then they can draw their own picture or describe what they imagine, see, and feel to whoever is reading them the story. Then that person can help them draw it into reality or write down what the child is imagining for future reference. Internationally acclaimed author, lecturer, and expert on child development, Joseph Chilton Pearce, enlightens us even more on this process, saying that the learned ability to create internal images is one of nature's highest achievements. Children who lack this ability will have severe difficulty with the abstract language and thought on which all higher intelligence is based. The more imagination a child has, the more options he or she has for solving problems and avoiding violence as a solution. Mr. Pierce continues, once having experienced storytelling, even toddlers respond in the classical way when they hear those magical words, once upon a time. Their bodies get still, their jaws drop, their wide open eyes, riveted on the storyteller, see nothing without. Their seeing is entirely within, for it's within that the creative process of the child's brain forms pictures, images that give reality, substance, and life to the vibratory stimulus of the words. This image making requires a continual reworking and relating of all the neural structures of the brain involved in language and vision, which means most of the entire brain-mind system. As the words flow from without, so do the pictures from within. Speak the word, and it does indeed appear. Since virtually every area of the brain is involved in this imagery sound play, it demands a complete entrainment, one that leaves no conscious energy for ordinary responses. Thus, the catatonic body stance and reptilian stare of the young listener, true one-pointedness. Just think about that. How profound and creatively amazing is that? That alone is reason enough to immerse yourself, your children, and even your partner in oceans upon oceans of fairy tale magic. But it's just the beginning. In Endangered Minds, Why Children Don't Think and What We Can Do About It, Jane M. Healy, PhD, states that the words children hear arrange their intellects and help them learn to reason, reflect, and respond to the world. Severe deprivation of language during early years guarantees lasting neural changes that noticeably affect speech and understanding. Fairy tales read as a bedtime, playtime, homeschool, preschool or elementary school, or other activity foster a child's developmental process through words, imagery, and the stories they create, providing a rich, loving experience for both readers and listeners. When children form their own pictures, they touch the core of their human heart, instilling them with the unshakable conviction of their own self-worth. Forming their own pictures will also help children with special talents and challenges recognize their amazing gifts and, with your loving guidance, integrate these gifts into successful lives. Psychologist Bruno Bettelheim, in his book The Uses of Enchantment, The Meaning and Importance of Fairy Tales, states, fairy tales build the cultural background that every child needs to become a good reader, and they also help children face life with more courage and self-confidence. And I say, every hour a child is read to is an hour they bond with their caregiver. Listen attentively. Develop their brain. Use their imagination. Learn the proper use of language and learn to visualize. In the preschool years, Ellen Galinsky and Judy David state, for parents who wonder about teaching phonics to their 3-year-olds, a far more effective approach is to continue exposing children to books and storytelling and discussing the stories. Storytelling is also a far more effective way to teach children about values and the other precious pearls of living a successful life, as opposed to lecturing or even calmly sharing with them. Psychologist Richard Landis states, if we tell children what they should or shouldn't do, it doesn't have as much impact on them as a story, because a story builds in the experience. If the story's told well, the child experiences the story. It's a way of teaching them about life. Fairy tales of the heart weave fantasy, myth, and reality into an educational, entertaining, and inspirational experience for children of all ages. They help children explore values, resolve conflicts, understand the fast-paced world we live in, enhance their creativity, and develop into a loving, powerful, self-confident, intelligent human being. Adventure, science fiction, myth, mystery, heroes and heroines have always been powerful vehicles for teaching, sharing values, and discovering one's own personal power. Children historically incorporate heroes into their play, and fairy tales of the heart have more original characters, more heroes, more heroines than even Disney stories. In The Way to Write for Children, Joan Aiken states, a child needs myth to give them a blueprint for behavior and to strengthen their imagination. Imagination is a necessary faculty, and modern living gives it little to feed on. Myth-type stories furnish 3 basic ingredients: reassurance, emotion, and mystery. Like Albert Einstein said, if you want your children to be brilliant, tell them fairy tales. If you want them to be very brilliant, tell them even more fairy tales. And if you want them to be even more brilliant than that, brilliant beyond brilliant, let them create their own fairy tale images by reading or listening to Blissberry Bear's Fairy Tales of the Heart. Remember, there's some free fairy tales and songs for your children at the freebie tab at timothystutz.com. You know, there are many more powerful free gifts for your entire family at the website, including a free on-demand training that will light you and your children up in unimaginable ways. It's entitled 3 Magic Wands for More Creative, Happier, and Empowered Children. It's at the top of the freebie tab. Just like I love welcoming you with aloha, I like to conclude our aloha time together with a blessing for each other and all of life. I invite you to envision the world you want you and your children to live in now and in the future now, free to explore our divine gifts, clean air to breathe, fresh, pure water to drink, a beautiful home for shelter, loving relationships, whatever makes your heart sing and dance, with plenty of time to do it. I invite you to close your eyes if it's safe to do so. Bring your hands to your heart. Be totally present right there with your hands over your heart. Be aware of your precious breath. Feel it entering and leaving your beautiful body on its own. You don't have to try. Imagine your breath saturated with sparkling light that enters and becomes every pore of your beautiful being. Feel, perhaps even hear, your beloved heartbeat. Feel your life force, your divine light pulsing in, as, through, and for you. There's nowhere else to be, nothing else to do. In this precious moment, sincerely honor yourself as I'm honoring you right now. As all your beloveds, no longer blessing your life with their physical presence, are honoring you right now. As all your ancestors love and honor you. Feel the love you are. Feel the magnificence of you. There's nowhere else to be, nothing else to do, except to now send a burst of your divine light as a tidal wave rolling out and immersing all life, the entire world, our sun, our moon, all stars, our entire solar system, our galaxy, and all of creation in light, 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 love, 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 bliss, 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 aloha, aloha, aloha. If your eyes are closed, slowly open them to the beauty of the world before you. Please help me shine more and more light into the world and share techniques like these by liking and sharing this podcast with your friends and family. Please share any aha moments and experiences you've had listening or by enjoying the practices shared. Share your experiences with your friends, family, on social media, and with me. I look forward to being with you again on spiritual storytelling with more ways to enlighten, and inspire you to live a life of aloha every moment amidst the ever-changing events of daily life. In the next episode, why everyone from prenatal to 102 needs fairy tales of the heart, we'll continue exploring the magical benefits of the nearly 100 fairy tales I've created for you and your children. Can you imagine that there's even more than we've already touched upon? With all the blessings, all my blessings for peace, love, vibrant health, and bliss wrapped in infinite rainbows of miraculous magical miracles for you, your children, and your family. Aloha and mahalo for tuning in today. Aloha and mahalo for being here now. Now, in this moment, shining, shining, shining your beloved light, friends and family. Be love, be love, be love. Every human heart is a flame of love, burning to go home to God. And all my stories, courses, one-on-one sessions, and group gatherings fan your heart flames. Check them out to see which ones may serve you and your family. Blessings, blessings, blessings.
Thank you, God. Thank you, healers. Thank you, beings of light. Thank you for filling our temples with your harmonious healing energy. Thank you for filling our souls with the divine spirit, filled with light life force energy and love. Thank you, God. Thank you for this healing gift. I am now in a perfect state, filled with love and gratitude. Thank you.